Hi, I'm Roscoe and this is Amazing EV. And from the outset, if you don't like EVs, if you object to EVs, if you don't have anything to do with EVs, you don't want to buy an EV, you're in the wrong place. Today, I'm just going to do a totally unscripted, off-the-cuff, straight-to-camera review about why we're involved in EVs. Because I'd rather you listen to me than listen to some of the garbage that's on most of the mainstream media and the problems that they keep coming up. Whether it's Chinese spying on your cars, whether it's depreciation of used EVs, whether it's fires in your garage, it's become such a partisan issue, which we can't understand, that we decided to get into the front line and start to talk more and more about why EVs are so good. So unlike a lot of YouTubers, we're not giving up. We're not cutting back. We're getting ramped up. We're going to the front line. We're going to talk more about EVs and used EVs, how good they are. I'm not going to try and convince you to buy one, but I'm going to show you how good they are. And I'm going to refute anything that anybody says that disparages them and is obviously fear-mongering amongst the community. Because really, some of what's going on is just absolute bullshit. There's a fire being lit by someone somewhere, and it needs to be put out. So instead of pulling back, we're stepping forward to the front line and we're going to do more. We're going to talk more about EVs, the incredible range, how easy they are to operate, how great they are day to day, everything that will help you think about your choice, justify your choice, and support you in driving an EV. If you're watching us and you don't like EVs, or you want to be convinced, or you want something else, you want to drive a diesel, you're in the wrong place. Because we're here to talk to people who are interested in EVs, want to learn more about them, and in particular, used EVs. And that's why we started our dedicated used EV marketplace. We really wanted to help EVs. And here's a plug for our business straight up. Amazing EV is an Australian-based dedicated used EV marketplace. We're talking about EVs, we're blogging about EVs, and we've got only EVs for sale. We haven't got hybrids. Look, for us, we've said it before, we'll say it again, hybrids are like vaping. It's a more complex solution to a problem, and it's not the answer. I was an audiovisual home entertainment, still am to some degree, doing bits and pieces for existing clients, but made the jump to owning an EV, and then made the bigger jump to creating a used EV marketplace. We've owned a Tesla Model Y, which we bought used a couple of years ago now, and it's almost been maintenance-free. Just broken a windscreen. That happens to every car. New set of tyres at 40 Ks, happens to every car. Same sorts of bits and pieces, but apart from that, I haven't spent a cent on maintenance to that car. We're sick of some of the rhetoric that carries on and has been on talkback radio only today, and I won't mention which channel it was, where once again there's not going to be a market for selling a car and people are put off buying a new EV because they don't think they're going to be able to sell it. The reality is we're seeing good sales and improved sales in used EVs. And just to give you a bit of background on the used car market, it's about 2.1 million cars in Australia per year, almost double the new car market. It's a big market. New cars have come back strong in supply of new cars, so used cars probably supply exceeds demand at the moment. There's data all over the place. Everyone's got data on new cars, used cars. There's data everywhere you look. Everyone's got data on your car in particular. You can go onto a site, put your license plate or VIN in, and you can see all the data on your specific and exact car, and you can probably find out what it's worth right now, okay? The information's out there in swathes. Cars' valuations are almost dictated by the market to many degrees, and supply and demand. As manufacturers obviously keep dropping prices, then they are making it harder and harder for used EV sellers to continue to get a sort of price that perhaps they're expecting. And we acknowledge that, and that's made it tougher. But what we also think is that in the used car market, there is a sweet spot between about 25 and 35,000 Ks. And new EVs are getting to that parity spot with petrol cars. And used cars are going to get to the same spot pretty quickly as well. And I think we'll continue to see prices come down to some degree till they get reasonable. And we think that 25 to 35K range is the sweet spot for a used car because that's the spot where people can afford to buy a nice car, get a reliable car, and expect it to give them several years service without any major problems anyway. And it's going to be reliable. And you're going to get that with an EV. Just look at the Tesla Model 3 market now. Some great examples already at 35,000 Ks, getting close to 30 in some cases. That's getting to the affordable range. That's still in the reliable range. And it's a fantastic car, whether it's done 30, 40, 50,000 Ks. we're going to continue to promote the used EV marketplace, and we're leaning hard into it if anyone wants to come and follow. The total market for used cars was just over 2.1 million last year. Of that, there are just under 15,000 used EVs sold, less than 1% of the market. Currently, new EVs are around about 6 to 7, depending on which month you're looking at, fluctuating around there, holding steady. We're hoping for bigger growth, but still obviously a long way for the used EV market to catch up before it becomes anywhere close to the new market. So we're expecting big growth in the used market. There's going to be a market for used EVs. We're going to help create it. Other markets are offering at the moment, but we've created a dedicated market. And sure, this is a plug for our own business. That's what we're here for. The mix between YouTube and the website and blogging, social media is all going to come together. And YouTube's going to be the way that I talk to you about the used car market as well. So we're going to continue to talk about it. We're going to continue to promote it. Anyone that wants to sell a car, we're happy to list it. The better photos you've got, we're going to put it out there on social media, create videos.
For cars like this incredible Polestar 2 that we just listed on AmazingEV, and we've come out to meet the owner in Kellyville, take some photos, get some video, really promote this car because it is a beautiful car. And something about Kellyville that you might be interested in, it is an incredible growth area of Sydney, houses growing every direction. This is part of the Hills district, Rouse Hill. What other hills are there?
Castle Hill, Seven Hills.
That's right.
Hawkham Hill.
This is part of the Hills district, Rouse Hill, Castle Hill, Seven Hills. And this is one of the highest growth areas for EVs in Sydney. And you can understand why. Lots of freestanding dwellings here, easy to put home chargers in, a commute to work that's probably 40, 50 Ks each way. So people are saving real money by buying an EV. It just makes real sense. So we thought we'd have a chat to the owner, Rick, who's decided to make available his time to have a chat about, well, let's ask him. Rick, what attracted you to the Polestar 2 in the first place?
Yeah, it's interesting. The Polestar 2, I think it's probably the quality of build. You've got all of that Volvo ingenuity behind it without the Volvo price tag. And it's interesting, the Volvo dealer said to me that you're getting a lot more bang for your buck with a Polestar, but you're getting all of that Volvo ingenuity into it without paying that Volvo price tag. And it's a great car. It's maintained by Volvo.
Yeah.
That's where the servicing network is.
Yeah, right. That's local.
So there's a number of Volvo dealers around Sydney that do it. I think there's 5 Volvo dealers, and so it's no trouble to get in to see them, and they look after you really well.
And what about the features of this car? Which one did you choose?
So we've got the Polestar with 2 packs. It's the Plus pack and the Pilot Light pack, and they're the Plus pack is all the creature comforts. It's the glass roof. It's the extra features like the thing in the boot that holds your shopping bags when you've just got a few shopping bags. And the Pilot pack is all of the navigational and safety extras. It just is a fantastic car to drive. It doesn't use heaps of power in terms of electricity, and it's great to drive around in. So I've probably already saved a fortune just in fuel.
What did you have before?
I had a Hyundai Tucson, and it drove well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got solar on my roof, as do many of the dwellings in the Hills District. So a lot of the time, my motoring is genuinely free. 5 years full servicing covered by Polestar. I had a service not long ago, didn't cost me a cent, even wiper blades included in the service. It's got lots of power, 0 to 100 in 7.4 seconds, which is pretty fast.
Oh, no, that's
pretty fast. So it's a really comfortable car to drive around in. It's very quiet. It's great. It's got a great Harman Kardon audio system in it.
I know
it's
that.
terrific.
I know that name. Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah, absolutely.
My wife and I looked at the Polestar. This was the very first EV I ever drove.
Yeah,
so right. we know it well, and we've seen a few around, but this is one of the best ones. This is one of the best ones I've ever seen.
Absolutely, yeah. And the gold color, it's called Jupiter, but it's not a garish gold. It's a really mild color, and it just looks fantastic. Yeah. No matter what light you're in, it looks great. Yeah. And it doesn't look easily dirty when it's a little bit dirty.
I know, some colors just seem to look more dirty.
Absolutely.
I know, sometimes somehow black looks more dirty and
black looks fantastic the day you wash it.
That's but this is a spectacular looking car, as you can see from the pictures on screen.
We're also going to proudly be at the Sydney EV show in Sydney, New South Wales, Australia, on the 8th, 9th, and 10th of November. Happy to chat to anyone who wants to come and talk to us about what their car's worth, how to go about selling, what the market's like at the moment. Because, like everything, we do expect some ups and downs. Nothing ever new in tech has been smooth sailing. So much cynicism out there about everything that's come along. And now Tesla's almost getting to the stage where it's being ridiculed for its latest updates and presentations. Sometimes it really seems like people are just picking holes in things just for the sake of it. But congratulate them for the innovation. Just think where they've come from in 15 years, from the Roadster to where they are now.
And speaking of Tesla, look what we've just found across the road from the AmazingEV head office here in Burke Street, Alexandria, Sydney. A bank of 6 brand new double Tesla superchargers, and right outside the Tesla repair centre, which is also a new facility itself, repairing Teslas. But it's only 10 minutes away from the Sydney domestic airport and about 15 from the international airport. So this is going to be busy, much welcomed, much needed, and look, a clear sign that the Tesla supercharger rollout is continuing. These latest gen Tesla superchargers are going to be quick. They're there to help service Tesla cars being repaired, but also they're going to service, well, they're going to be very handy for the AmazingEV office and Tesla as well. But they're going to service the thousands of Uber drivers driving EVs that are swarming around the airport all hours. It's going to be very handy, very convenient, and it's going to be very busy, I imagine. But it's a clear welcome sign too that the Tesla supercharger rollout is continuing. Thank you, Tesla. We appreciate it.
Chinese manufacturers are now leapfrogging ahead, and we're going to get a lot of Chinese cars coming to Australia. They're going to be here. They're going to represent really attractive options, and they're going to be available secondhand soon as well. They're going to be even cheaper secondhand and present great opportunities for people to buy an EV. And so a lot of this fear and scaremongering that's going on at the moment is just going to disappear. I'm going to the launch of a brand new Chinese brand tonight, Deepal, here in Sydney.
More VIPs arriving.
Joining probably Zika, Xpeng, a couple of others. BYD obviously has been here a couple of years now, that have just established themselves, and like Havel and Chery have been here with petrol cars. The EVs are coming as well, and there's lots of them, and they are very good. You're all on YouTube, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's channels dedicated to it. It's not hard to see where the cars are coming from and how fast they are turning out beautiful, luxury, affordable cars. And they're coming to Australia because they're only 2 weeks away by boat. They're going to be here. We are happy to embrace all brands, traditional European brands like BMW, who incidentally are now selling 25% of their total sales, in Australia at least, and close to global as well, are EVs. They're doing particularly well above the actual penetration rate for cars across the board. So there's a luxury brand, BMW, who's going close to 25% of total new car sales are EVs. They're coming onto the second-hand market as well. There's cars out there in all shapes and forms. So instead of pulling back, we're stepping forward to the front line, and we're going to do more. We're going to talk more about EVs, the incredible range, the technical specifications, how easy they are to operate, how great they are day to day, everything that will help you think about your choice, justify your choice, and support you in driving an EV. Because I know that only EV drivers are listening to this. But if you want to sell your EV and you're looking to make the change to another one, whatever the reason, we're here to help. I don't mind what the reason is. If you want to go back to a petrol car, you want to stay with an EV, you've upgraded to another EV, it doesn't matter. AmazingEV is there to help you try and sell your used EV or try and find a new EV if you're looking for the first time. Happy to have a chat to anybody about buying and selling an EV in Australia. I'd rather you listen to me than listen to some of the garbage that's on most of the mainstream media and the problems that they keep coming up. Whether it's Chinese spying on your cars, whether it's depreciation of used EVs, whether it's fires in your garage. We've covered all the myths in a previous video, which I'll put in the links down below. But if you don't like them, don't watch. If you want to get on board, I'm Roscoe, and this is AmazingEV.